Today, let's talk about the trauma of growing up fat.
Hey people, welcome and welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So in our today's conversation, we want to talk about being fat is not a good experience. It's not just about looks, it's about the constant discomfort, judgment, and limitation that comes. So we are not sharing this video because we are trying to body shame anybody. No, it's because we want to learn something. So kindly watch the following videos and I'll be back to leave my own comment. Please don't go.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. Dog, coming from a former fat person, bro, being fat is the top one worst experience you could fucking have, bro. Because pretty much everything fucking sucked. Eating sucked because people paid attention to your fucking meals. Fucking, dude, the insecurity, bro. The man boobs, the fucking double chin, bro. Like, just looking in the mirror just wasn't good, bro. There was nothing fun about it, bro. Like, everything fucking sucks when you're fat. Like, dead ass, bro. Like, when you're fit, everything you do is 10 times better, bro. Like, I can go walk around with my anime shirts now and nobody would care, bro. Like, no woman would give a fuck. And I'm just saying it as an example, but if I was fat and I go walk around with some anime shirts, they'd be like, what the fuck? You know? And I mean, I don't give a fuck either way. I'm just saying, bro, like, just everything socially is just so much fucking better now, bro, because dog, like the judgment too. Oh my god. And arguments, oh, you can't win no fucking arguments, bro. Just everything just about being fat, bro, just fucking sucks. Like, it fucking sucked. I'm so glad I'm not no more. Like, bro, I would never go back. I wouldn't even go back for some money, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, bro. Being fat is definitely the top one worst human experience you could have, bro, for real.
Today, let's talk about the trauma of growing up fat. I was a chubby kid growing up, and when you're young, everyone thinks it's so cute that you have these chubby cheeks, you have chubby arms, you have big legs. Like, they love you because you're so cute. And then when you get older, they start to turn on you and they shame you for being chubby. I was 8 years old and people were already telling me that I had to lose weight if I wanted to have a boyfriend, that I had to lose weight in order to find love. At 8 years old, you're already telling me that my life is determined by how my body looks, that my achievements, that whatever will happen to me is based on how thin I am. That is such a messed up way to grow up. I had very low self esteem. I never saw myself as beautiful. I absolutely hated myself and my body. I had such a terrible relationship with food. My whole life, I was traumatized just because I was fat. People treated me differently. I hated family reunions because there was always going to be this tita who brings up, oh my god, you're so big now. You got so fat. Have you tried exercise? Have you tried this diet? And then when they see you eating, they're like, are you sure you're going to eat all that? Maybe skip the rice for now. Maybe don't eat all of that. And then when you don't eat, they're like, why are you not eating? Are you on a diet? You never win. You never win. Anyways, as a fat kid, I always thought I needed to be funny or I needed to be smart. I needed to be something. So I'm not just a fat kid. I'm the fat kid that's also smart. I'm the fat kid that's good at English. I'm the fat kid that's good at art or like I'm funny. I had to have something else so that I'm just not labeled as that fat kid in class. So much of my life revolved around my weight. Like every breathing moment was focused on maybe if I do this, I'll lose weight. Maybe if I wear this, I'll hide the fat. Everything revolved around my body and what it looked like. I think that's one of the reasons why I felt so lost in life when I reached my early to mid 20s was because I never had a dream or goal. My only goal was to lose weight. My only dream was to be that skinny girl with white skin. That was my only dream. So when I actually got older and I'm like, well, what do you want to do with your life? I don't know. My only plan was to lose weight. That was it. Because that's what everyone around me kept on reminding me that I'll only be happy if I lost weight. I'll only find love if I lost weight. I'll only be successful if I lost weight. I can only wear what I want to wear if I lost weight. So yeah, everything revolved around losing weight.
Okay, so as a fat person who just went to Miami for a couple of days, I had some events. I went to go to support some of my friends in Miami Swim Week. I was around a lot of like influencers, social media people, really beautiful people, right? It's Miami. And as a fat person, just a quick little PSA. Get your head out of your fucking ass. Okay, so not to sound like I'm holier than thou or I know all, but these people were very pretentious. A lot of people were really snobby, and it's just amazing how these people spend so much money on their looks and their bodies trying to perfect the outside, but the inside is so ugly. No communication, no smiles, people staring at the two fat girls going, like, I can't tell you how many people blatantly just were like, I mean, and I'm just like, these people are spending thousands of dollars to be beautiful, and they're the ugliest people. Like, you could just tell by their aura. Like, don't let social media fool you all, and be careful who you follow. That's all I gotta say.
So like a lot of other people, I've seen the Barbie movie, and like a lot of other people, I was really moved by America Ferrera's big speech, and it got me thinking about some of the contradictions of being a plus size person. So I wanted to shout them into the void. You have to like yourself, but not too much because that's glorifying obesity, but not too little because then you have low self-esteem, and who's ever gonna like you if you don't like yourself? You have to date, but you can't reject anyone because you should be grateful that anyone is giving you any kind of attention or being attracted to you. But you also can't settle because then you don't value yourself. You can't complain that you're fat because it's your fault that you're fat. But then when you bring up things like PCOS, hormonal issues, eating disorders, then you're just making excuses. You have to eat, but not too much because people are going to point it out if you eat too much. But if you eat too little, then people are going to congratulate you on starving yourself and trying to lose weight. You have to eat, but not salads because who are you kidding? But also not a burger because then you're just a stereotype. You have to be okay with people making fun of you, mostly behind your back. But then the second that you laugh at yourself or make fun of yourself, they're going to be angry because you're taking away some of their power by laughing at yourself and seeing that you are the joke, and they can't take power from that if you're willing to laugh at yourself. You have to be okay with how often skinny people throw on fat suits just to be funny, and how most of the time skinny actors are hired and put into fat suits instead of fat actors being hired. You have to be put together and not sloppy because then you're just another part of the stereotype of being fat and lazy. But you also can't complain about the price that you pay for plus size clothing. You just have to be grateful that there's plus size clothing at all, even though a lot of the time it's only online. And God forbid you do lose weight, because then you'll realize that people treat you better as a skinny person than they ever did as a fat person. And on top of all of that which I haven't even covered in this video, you can make a video venting some of your frustrations, and people will crawl out of the woodwork and go out of their way to make nasty comments to you. And yet they'll say that thin privilege isn't a thing while they are actively trying to make you feel bad about existing and being fat in this world. There are people who don't want fat people like me to exist. And that in and of itself is enough to make you feel a little bit worthless. But I do exist, and I'm not going anywhere.
Does anyone else who's fat always feel like people are making fun of them? Like, hold on. Let me explain. So I was at a club, and I was with two friends who were extremely pretty and extremely skinny. And this man came up to me and was like, hey, like, my friend thinks you're really cute. And I was like, who? And like, he pointed to some guy who I thought was really cute. And I was like, in my head, I was like, they're making fun of me. So I was just like, I'm actually a lesbian, so okay. Which I used to be. Now I'm bi. But besides the point, I thought about this a lot the entire time I was still at the club. Like, I was like, oh my God, this guy was making fun of me. And my friends were like, where? And I was like, well, I don't actually know that he was making fun of me. I kind of just like feel like that vibe. Like, it's kind of like in middle school when people would ask you out like as a joke. I don't know. So I found the guy who said I was cute's friend, like the one who came up to me, and I was like, so were you pranking me? Like, were you just like trying to bully me and like be mean? And he was like, what? And I was like, when you said your friend said I was cute, like, were you lying? And he was like, no, why would I do that? I just feel like this says a lot about me, I'm not gonna lie. It's not that I feel like I can't be cute and fat like simultaneously, because I feel like I am. But like, it was so embarrassing that I like let myself believe that this man was making fun of me. We're adults at a bar, to the point where I literally asked his friend, like, are you guys bullying me? Like, that's actually so embarrassing. Honestly, it's on me, because what? Literally what? I guess it's just a result of being fat in middle school type of trauma. I don't know.
As a fat / plus size person, no matter what I'm about to say to you, somebody's going to get angry, so just know that I don't care. Obviously, being this way, I've had some crazy things happen to me that I didn't even know were a thing, or that I just never even thought about. And I do take 100% responsibility for how I got here, you know, obviously. I blame a little bit of it on my PCOS, but at the end of the day, I take responsibility. So I'm about to tell you one of the stories that has happened to me that honestly just grinds my gears. Things that I think most of the things that happen to me because I'm a bigger person are hilarious. Sometimes they do give me anxiety, like going to Disney World or something like that. But like, for the most part, I just think everything's funny. Like, I'm just like, damn, you know? But here we go. We're going to start off fairly easy. I'm going to tell you about the time when I was in high school and I wanted to get my blood drawn, right? Okay, so basically when I was in high school 4 years ago, I was a senior, and they had these like blood drives every year, and I was always so excited. I was like, oh my God, like, a good cause, like me giving blood. Like I have whatever universal blood is. I don't know at the moment. I just know that that's what I have, right? So I was like, oh my God, like this is great. Blah, 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 blah. Like I'm so excited. And I wait in line for 3 hours. 3 hours at school. Honestly, I don't care because I I got out of class. I'm like, who cares? And I was, talking with my friends and like we're cutting up, whatever. And like it had been like an outrage around the school that like you couldn't get your blood drawn if you were gay and like all this other stuff. And so I was just like, damn, like that's crazy. Not expecting shit like that to happen to me, right? And I'm not gay. But obviously I'm fat and I didn't really think that had anything to do with it, So I go down there. I'm very excited. I'm like, yes, I sit down. She's asking me all these questions, and she's like, how much do you weigh? And at the time, I think I was like, I don't know, like 375. And she was like, oh, honey. And I was like, what? And she was like, I'm gonna have to ask you the rest of these questions because I can't stop. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't donate blood. And I was like, why? I was literally, my wheels were turning. I was like, damn, you would have thought that somebody would have told me that you can't donate blood if you're fat. Like, I had no idea. And so I'm sitting there angry, and I'm just like, why did nobody tell me? Like, this is some BS. And she goes, no, honey, like, it's not because you're fat. It's because you exceed the weight limit for the chair. The weight limit on the chair was like 250, and I was like, checks out. This is my villain origin story right here. Right here!
Well, after listening to other people, kindly leave a sweet message in the comment section below. Everyday tasks feels like challenging. Walking upstairs feels like a workout. Chairs feels like too small. Clothes don't fit right. And you are always wondering if people are staring at you or silently judging you. And then there is the emotional toll. You feel invisible and hyper invisible at the same time. Ignored when it matters, yet judged when you eat, walk, or even exist in the public. What of dating? A struggle, right? Job interview. People assume you are lazy before you even speak. Healthy? That an extra brings along serious risk like diabetes, joint pain, heart issues, and you can feel it every single day. People People like to preach self-love, and yes, you should love yourself at every size, but let's not pretend that being fat is easy or healthy. It's a daily battle of physical strain and emotional weight. The truth is, most people are overweight, don't want to stay there. They are stuck in circles of food, addiction, emotional eating, or just trying to survive in a world that isn't built bigger bodies. We can be kind and compassionate, but we also need to be honest. Being fat is not a good experience, and no one should feel ashamed for wanting to change that. So, please don't forget that healthy is wealthy. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. See you in the next video and stay safe.